In this video, we are going to tell you how to use the verb mancare in Italian. Cominciamo!
Buongiorno a tutti, benvenuti a Coffee Break Italian. Io sono Mark.
Salve a tutti, io sono Francesca.
And in this video, we're answering a question from Sheila. Sheila wanted to know how to use the verb mancare. Now, it is a tricky verb. It means to miss, but it works differently from how to miss works in English. Francesca, over to you.
Yes, Mark, it works a little bit differently if we compare English and Italian, but hopefully in this video we can clarify the structure of this verb with some useful examples.
Sounds like a good idea. So let's begin with an example.
Okay, let's start with the sentence Mi manca l'Italia.
Okay, this is something that I say to myself every day at the moment, just about. Mi manca l'Italia. So it means I miss Italy. But it's a little bit different, and it's a little bit wonky from when we look at this in English, because we've got me, which means
to me,
and then manca,
Mrs. or it's missing.
Okay, so Mrs. or is missing, and then we've got, of course,
obviously l'Italia.
So if we say mi manca l'Italia, it means to me is missing Italy. I am feeling I've got a feeling of missingness towards Italy. Mi manca l'Italia. To me is missing Italy. But that me there is an interesting word because it's an indirect object pronoun, isn't it?
Sì, esatto. It's a pronoun meaning to me. So in a way, if we look at this sentence, Italy is performing the action of missing to me. And if our listeners are familiar with the verb piacere, to like, they can somehow compare the structure of mancare with the structure of piacere. When you say mi piace l'Italia, I like Italy. But let's focus on mancare.
Okay, so I think what would be useful is if we just take a quick look at our indirect object pronouns so that we can learn how to say you miss Italy, he misses Italy, she misses Italy, and so on. So we'll start with me. We've got me as in mi manca l'Italia. But what about you miss Italy?
Ti manca l'Italia.
So ti manca l'Italia. Italy is missing to you. He misses Italy.
Gli, G-L-I.
Okay, so gli manca l'Italia. To him is missing Italy. And she misses Italy.
Le
manca l'Italia. To her is missing Italy. I've put those both in the same line because they're both the third person singular, okay? So gli and le manca l'Italia. To her is missing Italy, or she misses Italy. What about to us is missing Italy?
Ci manca l'Italia. Ci.
To us is missing Italy, or we miss Italy. What about to all of you?
Vi
manca l'Italia. And what about to them is missing Italy?
We can just use again gli.
Yep. So the easiest thing there would be to use a gli again. So gli manca l'Italia. To them is missing Italy. That's all very well, Francesca, but what if we want to say Mark is missing Italy?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, we still have to convey the idea of to someone, but when we're using the name of a person, as it is the case here with Mark, we do that by adding the preposition a, which means to. So Mark misses Italy. A Mark manca l'Italia.
A Mark manca l'Italia. Perfetto. So far, so good.
See?
What else do we need to consider with this?
We need to, so far we have seen only something singular missing to someone. So I miss Italy, which is something singular, but you can miss something plural.
Of course.
And if we reverse the order in Italian, it's something plural are missing to me. So we have to consider changing the ending of the verb, which changes from manca to mancano.
Okay, so that it becomes a plural just like any other verb. It's a regular, a mostly regular are verb in this case in these persons. So manca becomes mancano. So can we put that into a sentence then?
Sì, possiamo dire mi mancano I miei amici.
So let's think about this. Mi mancano. So to me are missing I miei amici, my friends. Or I miss my friends. My friends are missing to me. Mi mancano I miei amici.
Esatto. And then we can add exactly the same indirect object pronouns we have just seen for the singular sentence, and they work perfectly well also in this sentence.
Can you give us an example of that then?
Sì, I could ask you, Mark, ti mancano I miei amici? Do you miss my friends?
Certo, mi mancano I tuoi amici. Your friends are missing to me. So, mi mancano, in this case, mi mancano I tuoi amici. Your friends
Sì.
are missing to me. Mi mancano I tuoi amici. But it's this plural form of the verb because this part is plural. The subject is plural, okay? My friends, your friends, they are the subject of this verb, with the object being me. To me are missing your friends. And that's the tricky thing, because in English it's the opposite way around. But we'll not go into that too much.
No.
Francesca, I've got one more question here. What about if I miss you? How do you say that in Italian?
Good question, Mark, and it's also a very useful sentence to have. And in this case, because it's not it or they missing to me, but it's you missing to me, then we have to change the verb again, and we have to use the second person singular of the verb mancare, which is manchi. Spelled with an H.
Okay, so manchi is you are missing, and therefore it would become you are missing to me, or to me you are missing. Therefore we would say mi manchi.
Mi manchi, sì, okay. I miss you.
And it's tricky because when you say mi manchi and then you say I miss you, it sounds a little bit strange because of course it's to me you are missing. Like so.
Esatto, sì.
Right, well, there we have mancare. Hopefully this has helped Sheila understand how mancare is used. And if you have a question like Sheila, then just get in touch with us. You can send your question to coffeebreakquestions.com and we'll be very happy to see all your questions and hopefully include them in future episodes of the show. If you've enjoyed this, if this has helped you work out how to use mancare, then give it a like. And of course, you can subscribe to our channel, click the little bell icon that appears, and that way you'll be notified of any future videos that we produce to help you with your Italian.
And I would love to hear if there is something that you are missing or not missing at this very time. So let us know by writing a sentence with the verb mancare in the comments here below.
Benissimo. Allora, grazie mille, Francesca.
Sì, grazie a te, grazie a tutti.
Thank you also to Sheila for sending in your question, and we'll be back soon with more Coffee Break Italian. Ciao!
A presto!